January 2nd, 2026, a date that would soon be etched into the city's memory. As the first rays of sunlight crept over the skyline, New York City woke up to a new reality. The city's heartbeat felt different, faster, more hopeful, as if the streets themselves sensed change in the air. The air was crisp, the coffee was brewing, and City Hall had a new boss, Mayor Zohran Mamdani. For many, it was the first time in years that the city's leadership felt truly within reach, not just a distant figure behind closed doors. This wasn't your typical political handover. There was a buzz, a sense that something real had shifted. People gathered in clusters, exchanging stories and hopes, their faces lit with anticipation. The city's energy was electric, as if everyone was holding their breath, waiting to see what would happen next. For the first time in years, the mayor felt like one of us. Someone you might actually see on the subway, squeezed between commuters, headphones in, coffee in hand. Mamdani's presence was familiar, not distant, a leader who understood the rhythm of the city because he lived it every day. Mamdani's inauguration wasn't a grand affair. It was a celebration for the people, by the people. There were no velvet ropes or exclusive galas, just neighbors, families, and friends coming together on the steps of City Hall, sharing laughter, music, and dreams for a better future. Young New Yorkers, the backbone of his campaign, saw him as their own, someone who understood their struggles. They cheered not just for a politician but for a peer, a friend, someone who had walked the same streets and faced the same challenges. This was about earning power through connection, not inheriting it. Mamdani's rise was built on conversations in parks, late-night meetings in community centers, and a genuine willingness to listen. He shook hands, looked people in the eye, and made promises he intended to keep. His first speech was direct and heartfelt. He called housing a human right and the city a community, not just a collection of buildings. He spoke of unity, of shared responsibility, and of the urgent need to address inequality, not with empty words, but with real action. He promised action, not just announcements. The work for a more equitable city started now. Housing, transit, education. These weren't just talking points, but priorities. Volunteers and activists who had long fought for change finally felt seen and heard. The world was watching. Could this new leader deliver on his promises? Reporters from across the globe gathered outside City Hall, eager to capture the first steps of a mayor who had already defied expectations. On that first day, as Mamdani rolled up his sleeves, optimism filled the city. Staffers hustled with purpose, and ordinary New Yorkers walked a little taller, believing that their voices finally mattered. It felt like the start of a new chapter, one written by and for the people. The city's story was being rewritten not by a single leader, but by the collective hope and determination of millions. And as the sun climbed higher over Manhattan, New Yorkers dared to believe. This time things could truly be different. Mayor Mamdani wasted no time. From the very first moment he stepped into City Hall, it was clear that a new era was beginning for New York City. The energy in the building was electric, with staff and supporters eager to see what changes would come. His first day was all about action, not just words. While others might have spent their first hours settling in, Mamdani dove straight into the work, determined to make an immediate impact. He met with his team, reviewed urgent issues, and set a tone of urgency and compassion. He signed a citywide rent freeze, immediate relief for millions of tenants who had been struggling to keep up with rising costs. For many, this was the first time in years they felt seen and protected by their city government. The announcement sent shockwaves through the city, with news outlets covering the bold move and tenants celebrating in the streets. He did it outside a notorious building, sending a clear message that this administration stands with tenants, not absentee landlords. The symbolism was powerful. The mayor was willing to go where the problems were, not just talk about them from behind closed doors. Years of feeling the system was rigged for landlords ended with one bold move. For too long, tenants had felt powerless, watching rents climb while their voices went unheard. Now, hope was returning to neighborhoods across the city. He revived the mayor's office to protect tenants, putting housing advocate C. Weaver in charge. Weaver, known for her tireless work defending renters' rights, brought a new sense of purpose and expertise to City Hall. Her appointment signaled that tenant protection was now a top priority. The office jumped into a major legal battle against a notorious landlord, signaling a new era of accountability. For the first time, the city was using its legal muscle to defend tenants, not just enforce the status quo. This was a turning point, showing that bad actors would be held responsible. The city was now an active player on the tenants' team. No longer were renters left to fight alone. City Hall was opening its doors and its resources to support them. These actions rebalanced power, ensuring every New Yorker has a safe, stable home and an ally in City Hall. The message was clear: housing is a right, not a privilege, and the city would stand up for its people. Mamdani delivered on a core promise from day one, building trust immediately. His swift action reassured supporters that their faith in him was well placed, and that real change was possible. He showed supporters their votes mattered, and that change was happening now, not in some distant future. The excitement was palpable, both in the streets and online, as people shared stories of hope and renewed belief in their city government. This hands-on approach set a precedent for a government that's engaged and on the people's side. By listening directly to community concerns and acting on them, Mamdani's administration was redefining what leadership looks like in New York. The message was clear: City Hall is no longer an ivory tower. It's a place where every New Yorker is welcome and where their voices truly matter. The city's future, once uncertain, now felt full of promise and possibility. Protecting tenants is only half the battle. Mamdani knew more homes had to be built. He launched 2 task forces, Speed and Lift, to build affordable housing on city land, fast. The city's unused land would finally serve New Yorkers, not sit idle. These teams would cut through red tape, making construction faster and cheaper. His strategy: protect current tenants and build for the future at the same time. It's a practical, 2-pronged approach, no more temporary fixes. By using public land, the city ensures new homes are truly affordable and community-focused. It's ambitious, but rooted in the belief that New York can solve its own problems. All it takes is the political will to act. Zohran Mamdani's path to City Hall was anything but traditional. In a city known for its tough politics and established power brokers, Mamdani charted his own course, one that would soon make history. He didn't win with big donors or old-school endorsements. He won because he mastered the internet. While other candidates courted wealthy backers in grand ballrooms, Mamdani's campaign headquarters was a modest apartment buzzing with energy and ideas. His social media campaign was authentic, funny, and relentless. Every day, his team brainstormed new ways to connect with voters, using humor and honesty to break through the noise. While others sent out boring press releases, Mamdani made viral TikToks and gave real behind-the-scenes looks on Instagram. He invited people into the campaign's daily life, showing the hard work, the setbacks, and the small victories. He broke down complex issues into easy videos, making politics accessible and even fun. Instead of jargon, he used stories and analogies, turning policy into something everyone could understand and care about. Young people, usually ignored, flocked to his cause. For the first time, many felt like a candidate was speaking directly to them, in their language, on their platforms. Voter turnout among them surged. Lines of first-time voters wrapped around city blocks, energized by a campaign that made them feel seen and heard. Mamdani showed them their voices mattered. He listened, responded, and even changed his platform based on their feedback, proving that democracy could be a two-way conversation. Political analysts were stunned, but shouldn't have been. The signs were there for anyone paying attention. A new generation was demanding a new kind of politics. He built a real online community and mobilized it at the polls. Supporters didn't just like his posts. They organized, canvassed, and brought friends to vote. His victory rewrote the playbook for modern elections. Authenticity beat ad budgets. A genuine connection with voters proved more powerful than any expensive TV spot. Human connection beat political machines. Mamdani's campaign was powered by people, not just algorithms or consultants. Mamdani's campaign became a cultural phenomenon. Memes, street art, and viral videos turned his message into a movement that spread far beyond his district. It proved the future of politics belongs to those who can capture hearts, minds, and likes. The digital age rewards those who are real, relatable, and ready to listen. The internet wasn't just a tool, it was the movement. Mamdani's story is a blueprint for a new era, where anyone with passion, purpose, and a smartphone can change the world. Winning online is one thing, running New York is another. Now, Mamdani must turn digital stardom into real-world results for 8.5 million people. The skills that won the campaign aren't always the ones needed to govern. He faces tough choices, slow bureaucracy, and a complex political landscape. The bar is high, he promised bold change, and now, he must deliver. If progress stalls, his biggest supporters could become his critics. The city, and the country, are watching. Can a digital leader succeed in the analog world? Mamdani's challenge is to prove he's not just a social media star, but a true leader for New York. Mamdani's biggest challenge? Managing the expectations of his online supporters. They're used to instant results, but government moves slowly. If change doesn't come fast, energy could fizzle and backlash could be swift. The same platforms that built him up could turn on him overnight. That's why clear, honest communication is essential. His team must celebrate small wins, be upfront about setbacks, and keep people engaged. He needs to make the slow work of governing feel meaningful. Setting realistic expectations without killing hope is key. If he balances inspiration with transparency, he can keep his movement alive. But if he fails, he risks becoming just another politician who couldn't live up to the hype. Mamdani's team knows social media followers don't equal political power. Their strategy turns online energy into real-world action. They're building an independent advocacy group to organize supporters in every neighborhood. The goal: transform likes and shares into real political pressure. By connecting digital supporters with local organizing, they're creating a citywide network of activists. It's a bold attempt to merge digital enthusiasm with grassroots power. To govern, Mamdani needs people willing to do the hard work, not just click like. This partnership between City Hall and the people could be transformative. If he bridges the digital and real worlds, he'll foster a new era of civic engagement. This is the next chapter, turning online momentum into a more just, equitable New York.